Day number 2 of the 2024 NFL Draft is upon us. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us here on Ravens Rundown. We're going to break down what day number 2 has installed for the Baltimore Ravens, as I'll give you my mock draft of who I have the Ravens selecting with their 2 picks. Also go over some draft targets at every potential area of need. We'll go over that coming up in just a matter of moments here on today's show. Before we do, I want to make sure you're subscribed to Ravens Rundown, as we are covering the draft all weekend long here on the channel with the latest happenings on your favorite team. Any pick they make, we're going to stop what we're doing. We're going to make you a video as quick as we can here on Ravens Rundown, and we're trying to reach our next milestone. I would love before the end of the weekend stuff if we can get to 16.5K thousand subscribers. Can you guys make it happen? Subscribe now. Join the family. Don't miss out when the Ravens are making moves. Any of these draftees we're going to talk about here on the channel. Subscribe now for free. We'll get started with today's show. Let's begin with pick 62. I'm projecting the Ravens go with Washington offensive tackle Roger Rosengarten out of the University of Washington. The Ravens were in a situation where all the top tackles were not available when they picked with their 30th overall selection. Ultimately, they go with Nate Wiggins. After the big run on offensive players in the first round, they go defense with that first-round pick with Wiggins, who was surprisingly available there. But that doesn't mean that they can ignore the offensive tackle position. This is something they're still going to need to take care of, and Roger Rosengarten is a nice solution for what the Baltimore Ravens are looking for. I think you look at Rosengarten, and what you could be doing, essentially, is draft him, put him at the right tackle spot for now, and then whenever we get to a point where the Ravens move on from Ronnie Stanley, if Rosengarten develops properly, then you could put him potentially at the left tackle spot and go from there. Had a very nice year with the Huskies, as that team was dominant on the offensive line, found their way to win a college football playoff game. We're in the national championship, won the Pac-12 and all that, and he was a key part of the success on that offensive line. Snaps out of his stance. He's fluid, rangy pass protector, closes space in a hurry, keeps rushers guessing. I would like this pick for Baltimore. How about their third-round pick at 93? I'm projecting the Ravens here go with Malachi Corley, the wide receiver from the University of Kentucky, here with this selection. And we know the Ravens need receiver help. Yes, they did just give Rashad Bateman that new contract, but that doesn't solve everything, right? They still need to look at other options. And Malachi Corley, to me, is one of the most fascinating prospects in this year's draft. He's been dubbed the second coming of Deebo Samuel, as he is quite the prospect. Thick, running back-like frame, 5'11", 210, and he led the nation in yards after catch this past season in college football. A 2-time first-team All-Conference USA selection, great strength and balance, very good hands, snags throws out of his frame. He can really do it all, and we've seen this run on receivers. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, you got to start thinking, all right, what are we going to do? If we didn't go with a first-round receiver, what could be next? Corley could be exactly what the Ravens are looking for. What do you think about what the Ravens did in the first round with going with Nate Wiggins? How would you grade that pick? Get wiggy with it, folks. Grade it for me in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going with an A-. Give me your grade. Let us know in the comment section. Folks, I got to tell you about today's sponsor. You're going to love to hear this. It's Game Time. Game Time's the place to go for the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. We're talking tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, and more. Game Time's got it all, and the prices drop as the event gets closer. Maybe you want to go to an O's game, for example. Choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you can see the seat you want, see what you like, and you pull up a flash deal potentially, see if you like that seat or not, and then you're checking out within a matter of moments on Game Time. And you can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. We're also offering you $20 off when you use the promo code ChatSports at checkouts. Download Game Time today. Terms and conditions do apply. Start saving with Game Time now. You'll be glad you did. Get those tickets to O's games and more with Game Time. $20 off with the promo code ChatSports. Download Game Time today. All right, so we talked about one position of need, the offensive tackle spot. Now let's talk about some other potential areas of need, one player for each of day 2 targets. Start with Cooper Beebe, the offensive guard out of Kansas State. And I like Cooper Beebe a lot. 3-time All Big 12 selection, 2-time first-team All-American, a terrific leader. He certainly looks the part as well. His grades last year, outstanding, 83.9. Allowed just 2 sacks. Very good when it comes to pass blocking. He's got some work to do when it comes to run blocking, but I think he'd be a good fit for Baltimore. Kris Jenkins at the defensive tackle spot from the University of Michigan, also a possibility. Now, we know that the Ravens paid all that money, of course, this past offseason with what they did on the defensive line. It wasn't cheap, right? And so now, what about rotational pieces, right? What could the Ravens do next to provide some depth to this defensive line? Well, Kris Jenkins could be a very good fit for exactly what the Ravens are trying to do. 2.5 sacks, 20 pressures, a very good run stopper. So a complementary piece of sorts, right, to what the Ravens want to do. Of course, you have a situation where Jenkins, I think, is maybe not ready to start right away, but you're not asking him to start right away, okay? I mean, you put him in as a rotational piece, I think you're going to be in great shape there. All right, make sure to join us for live coverage of the NFL Draft as we'll be getting things going. I'll be on there for about the entire second round. You'll see Tom Downey, Jack Sperry, Matthew Peterson, our entire Chat Sports crew. Join us there for day number 2. Also going to be live for day 3 of the NFL Draft. Subscribe now, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Don't miss a moment. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's talk another player from the University of Michigan, Junior Colson, the linebacker in this spot. I like Colson a lot. And the Ravens, although the expectation is that Trenton Simpson will replace Patrick Queen, the Ravens themselves have said it's an open competition to replace Patrick Queen as far as that goes. And you look at what Junior Colson did, I could argue he might be the best inside linebacker in this year's draft. I think that this is somebody that really, I know that there's some work to be done when it comes to coverage, but he does everything else well when it comes to the run game and getting after the quarterback and those things there. Junior Colson could be a good fit for Baltimore and compete for playing time. And we've seen the Ravens sure love their guys from Michigan, as Jenkins, we mentioned earlier, is a possibility as well. The edge rusher position, a lot of this has to do with replacements, right? You know, they spent all that money on Justin Madubuike, as we mentioned, right? But you lost Patrick Queen. You lost Jadeveon Clowney. Well, you're still looking for more pass rushers. What about Bralen Trice? Bralen Trice from the University of Washington, 7 sacks, 11.5 tackles for loss. I think he's very underrated. I think we've seen the numbers, like some people projecting him to be like the 8th or 9th best edge rusher. I think he's better than what he's getting credit for, and he might be a guy that's available in the 3rd round when the Ravens pick. Watch out for Bralen Trice's potential option for the Ravens. Last on this, we'll go with Cole Bishop, the safety from Utah. And I have kind of dubbed him a poor man's Kyle Hamilton, if you will. He does everything. He creates turnovers. He gets after the quarterback. He's very solid in coverage as well. I'd be very curious to see what the Ravens could potentially dial up. They need some more depth at the safety position. Bishop could be a good fit and could allow Kyle Hamilton more flexibility by having another option like Cole Bishop here. They could work well together on that front. Got to replace Geno Stone. This could be what you're looking for as far as that goes. So potential day 2 targets: Cooper Beebe, Kris Jenkins, Junior Colson, Bralen Trice, Cole Bishop. Those are some of the names we're following to see who the Ravens potentially could get here in day number 2 with their picks in the 2nd and 3rd round. Now, let's ask you, who should the Ravens draft in round number 2? Give me a name that comes to mind. We've given you a total of 7 names here, but there's plenty more out there. Give me a name that you would like to see in Baltimore and let us know. Subscribe now to Ravens Rundown for continuing draft coverage. When the picks come in, we'll break it down here on the channel tomorrow, so stay tuned for that as we have more stuff coming up tonight and tomorrow both. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tyler Jones. Subscribe now. We'll see you next time.